Hey YouTube, this is Gracie and welcome back to my channel. So once again this week I'm continuing on with my mini card series by showing you guys how to make a Disneybounding, guess who it is? It's Peter Pan, a Peter Pan Disneybounding card. Now if you guys are interested in seeing more of these mini cards that I did, I will show a link at the end of the video so you guys can click on that and watch my other videos that I did. I did a Captain Hook, a Tinkerbell, and a Windy Darling greeting card. So definitely check that playlist out. So today I'm going to show you guys my inspiration behind this card and how to make it. Starting off, this obviously has a lot of green on it because Peter Pan wears mostly green leaves or green things that he finds in Neverland. And that's kind of what I went for. So I did a lot of different ribbons on top of a brown card, and I figured that, you know, that these types of ribbons or material he could have found somewhere in Neverland, and so I just basically layered them on top of each other. I figured, you know, he could have found some sort of, you know, weird dead grass burlappy stuff and put that around. I also did some dark green ribbon and some super bright, this would be almost a Tinkerbell colored green ribbon, and of course I included his red feather and an acorn because, as you remember, acorns and thimples kind of represent kisses in Peter Pan's mind, so it's all mumbled up in there. And I also did a bunch of gold, what I considered pixie dust, but basically what I used was this Nuvo glitter, and this stuff is awesome. It dries super fast and it's really pretty the way it layers on. It's got all these different like size glitters in there. It's really nice. So I'm going to show you guys how to use that in just a second. And I also used my famous favorite glass glitter from Recollections. This stuff is awesome. I really like this stuff. I use it on almost everything. Anything I can think of, I try to use it. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this card right now. All you have to do to start out is take your, well, what I took was my original card, which was 5.5 by 4 inch, and I cut it in half, so that measures out to be approximately, you're cutting it down from 2 3/4 inch. Now after that, what you'll want to do is cut your ribbon, and I took this ribbon that I got from a scrapbooking store in my town nearby, and just cut off pieces of that. And I wanted it to kind of go over the edges, kind of like here, just because I liked the messy look, because Peter Pan is not, you know, buttoned up and pristine. So kind of put that on there, just like so. And all I did to adhere this down, and you're maybe thinking, how is that sticking? Well, I ended up using some Zots, which are just little glue dots. This is the large size that I used, but for this one I actually used my small size because it doesn't really have many open surfaces to put it on. So I don't know if you can see that. They're really tiny little glue dots. All you have to do is take your ribbon, push it down onto the glue dot, and then peel it off the backing. So I took 2 pieces approximately the same size, and I also liked the way that it's going to overlap in the middle just because it adds more texture. Like I always say, more texture is better. And you can actually see some of the glue dots showing through. It's a little bit shiny, but that's going to be okay because we're going to add some of that stickles, or not stickles, but the Recollections and some of the Nuvo stuff. The next one I did is this kind of burlappy, weird brown stuff. And again, I did 3 glue dots down the center. You can see them. They're a little bit shiny. And I want to point out the fact that they're down the center because you're going to be putting all of the ribbons on top of each other, and if you layer them in the center you won't see the glue dots. So just go ahead and place that over the middle of your card like so, and press down as best you can. You don't want to take too much of the stickiness away from this backing because any extra sticking for the next ribbon is always good. And again, I let the edges kind of come off a little bit. The very first card I did, I was kind of specific and I really wanted it to be perfect. But then I realized Peter Pan, again, he's not perfect. You know, he's not going to have every edge clean cut. So the last piece here, actually not the last piece, the second to last piece, is this really pretty rich, almost like a forest green ribbon here. And again, we're just putting it down the center like so, And with this type of ribbon, the edges do fray, but again, I kind of like the way that that looks. And then the very last piece is this Tinkerbell green, kind of girly, but that's okay. Maybe this piece is from Tinkerbell ribbon here, and it is a little bit elasticy, so and all of this ribbon I pretty much got at scrapbooking stores and Michael's and that kind of thing. We've had this ribbon for quite some time, so I don't know exactly where I got them from. So you'll just want to place that down on the top. And the last couple pieces here, you'll want to cut out your feather, and I used a Lawn Fawn set for that. It also has its own die cut, which I did use to start out the cutting process, and then I took some really tiny scissors, these cutter bees, and just cut off the rest of the white because I didn't want that to show. And then I went through and used my Hero Arts Merry Christmas and Fall Season's Greetings because it has my acorn that I wanted. And I really like the fact that I'm using a Christmas stamp and it's almost June, so you could really use your stamp sets for any season of any time of the year, whatever you want. So I just cut those out. I had to fussy cut the acorn because it didn't have a die cut, which I'm sure they do sell one, but we didn't buy it, I guess. The next thing you'll do is put some holes through them, and all I did was just literally pushed it through with a needle. And then I strung some very thin, this is sewing thread, through them, and I knotted them at different lengths. So kind of like a necklace, so that they would just kind of hang off of each other that way. And hopefully I could do this on the video. I have an issue with tying things in the videos. I'm gonna run that through here. And that's the other good thing about having this be elastic, is you really have a lot of movement in it. And just going to, where did it go? There it goes. Knot it. And I let that have a little bit of space, so I'm just kind of knotting it up in the air just to have some more dangling space, just like a necklace. So there you go. And I also left the rest of the string on there. I didn't cut the extra thread off because, again, Peter Pan's not perfect. And the last piece here is this really weird moss green, almost mint green colored ribbon. And this I just got, again, ribbons are everywhere, so just pick out the colors that you like. And I'm just going to knot that in the center and make a cute little bow. Now you could get a little more picky about this, but I didn't care about that. So, it got a little bit shredded, but that's all right. Crafting's not perfect. There you go. So you just let that kind of go in the center, or even off-centered like my very first one. It's a little bit off to the right, but I kind of like that. On the inside, I also did a sentiment. It says reach for the stars, and I used my Lawn Fawn set for that, along with the little mini stars that come with it. But then I also wrote in there specifically the second star to the right, because again, it's Peter Pan, so you got to have that. On the back side, I did my G stamp and a couple more stars, and I'm going to show you guys how to use the Nuvo now. So this stuff, like I said, dries really quickly, and you just unscrew the lid, and I just kind of placed it in where you would think something would kind of clump and gather. So just around like the big holes, and then I just kind of spread it out a little bit. Now I'm going to give you guys a bit of a close-up here, if I can. See how nice and like sporadic that looks, and it just blends out really well. I think I really like this stuff, maybe even a little bit more than I like my stickles, and that's saying something because I love stickles. And we're just going to kind of glob that everywhere that we want it to be, kind of where it might have gathered if pixie dust had been thrown on him recently from Tinkerbell, maybe in one of her moods. And just kind of dab it there. And you can use your fingers with this. It does really stick to your fingers, so make sure to wipe it off after if you're not wanting glitter all day on you, which I don't mind that, and I left it last time I did it. So again, just kind of daubs everywhere. And you could just do it that way and make it really simple if you don't like a lot of sparkle, and if you don't like a lot of glitter, then you can really just leave it that way and be really simple and cute. But I really love my Recollections glass glitter. So I just took my glue, which is my Simply Defined Stay Put adhesive, and I just kind of globbed it. Make big huge globs of it because you want this to stay and you want the glitter to adhere to it. So I just did lots of places where I wanted it to go, and I'm actually going to make this a little bit more than I did in my last card, just because I want it to be slightly different from my original. And then all you got to do, take your glass glitter and just kind of shake it onto those areas. And once that sits and dries for, you know, about half hour or so, I want to make sure it's definitely stuck down. You can also add a little bit of pressure and make sure it gets into the glue. But you'll set that aside, let that dry, and then come back and you'll get basically something like this. So there you have it. There is your Disneybounding Peter Pan mini card. And again, I'm going to leave all the information in the description box down below. And also coming up soon, I'm going to be doing a collaboration with Scrapbooking for Almost Everyone, and that's a really cool channel. Sandy Parker is awesome. She's my YouTube mentor. So shout out to Sandy. Thank you so much for all of your help and your wisdom and your advice. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So stay tuned for that video. That will be coming up in about a week or so. And we're going to be doing Groot from the new movie. So I'm very excited to do that. I haven't done Guardians of the Galaxy yet, so that'll be very fun and interesting for us. So stay tuned. Hope you guys have a great day. See you next time. Bye!